You're watching Gold Rush in a Rush, and we're recapping the Season 12 2-hour final episode, Buckets Full of Gold. So what happened? There is no water coming into the wash plant at the Hunker Cut. The water intake that was full of mud last week is full of mud again this week. Oh, does that mean the curse is back? So they move the pump to a place where it won't fill with mud. That was eventful, and it's cleanup time. The Kiwi plant finds 158.34 ounces. Oh, does that mean the curse is lifted again? And Mike's trommel finds 463.94 ounces, giving Tony 4,620.9 ounces for the season, and allowing him to meet his revised 4,500 ounce season goal. And for those who are curious by those last minute gold weighs, the math says Tony found 13% of his gold in the final 4% of the season. Seem hard to believe? Just wait. The season is nearly over as Parker's crew rushes to finish running the last of their pay. Meanwhile, seemingly filmed earlier in the year and edited into this episode for no reason whatsoever, a loader gets a flat tire and then is fixed. Then both plants are shut down for their final cleanups. So no real content then? But suddenly, Parker has a last-minute master plan. Set up a new mining area at the airstrip cut. Luckily, the new area already has a wash plant set up, the ponds built, and the ground already cleared. Tell me again how this was a last-minute plan. At one point, the pre-wash gets clogged, but that's pretty much it for content this episode. The final cleanup of the airstrip cut finds 299.6 ounces. The ugly cut, 60 ounces, and Mud Mountain, 808.45 ounces, giving Parker 1,168.05 ounces for the week, and 8,309.75 ounces for the season. A few things to note. First, having found only 3,058 ounces at Mud Mountain means it only barely paid for itself. Second, the show almost completely ignores Parker finding over 1,000 ounces in 1 week, which makes me wonder how much of this we are to believe when they certainly aren't impressed themselves. And for those who are curious by those last-minute gold weighs, the math says Parker found just over 14% of his gold in the final 4% of the season. That's a good trick. Winter arrives early on Rick's claim, so he gives his team a motivational speech and tells them to push harder, which is the same speech we hear every year. Rick increases his wash plant to 400 yards an hour and uses 2 loaders to feed it. At one point, one loader has electrical issues that are solved by cleaning the battery connections. Then the side of the cut suddenly collapses. There is a lot of face rubbing and swearing. Fearing for their lives and equipment, they rush to evacuate, but only after the long, slow drone shots are done being filmed. A final cleanup produces 393 ounces, giving Rick 2,047 ounces for the season. And for those who are curious by those last-minute gold weighs, the math says Rick found 19% of his gold in the final 4% of the season. Most impressive. Fred is in a massive hurry to get as much gold as possible before winter freezes him out. Fred then contributes to the team by sitting alone beside a campfire. In a rush to bring pay to the wash plant, a rock truck inexplicably drives into the pond and sinks into the muck. It takes 2 excavators, a dozer, and 2 failed attempts before they can free it. Then the trommel starts wobbling due to a bad bearing on a guide wheel. It's quickly fixed by the calm and rational Clayton team. And then winter closes them out. The last cleanup finds a team total of 45.585 ounces. 22.8 of it belonging to Fred's team, giving Fred 110 ounces for the season. And for those who are curious by those last-minute gold weighs, the math says Fred found 21% of his gold in the final 4% of the season. It's a miracle. Oh, and it's also a complete financial disaster. Need to know why? Tune in later for my wrap-up of Fred's ridiculous season. So, just to review all the teams in the final 4% of the season, Tony found 13% of his gold, Parker found 14%, Rick found 19%, and Fred found 21%. Isn't it amazing how they always find exactly what they need to meet their goals in the final episode? It couldn't work out better if it was scripted that way. Tune in next year when we find out Fred's bucket wasn't filled with gold, but with sand, silt, and gravel. Its value was only sedimental. It's weird, usually the last episode of the season is just packed with drama, and this one was packed with nothing at all. I mean, we knew they were out of content episodes ago, but usually they save something for the end, and there really was nothing. Wonderful. And another season of Gold Rush comes to an end. Thanks for watching, everybody. I truly appreciate all the support you've given, all the funny comments, the likes, those of you who have financially contributed to the channel. It's amazing, actually. This channel is a sign of good gold. Anyway, I'm going to do one more episode that wraps up Fred's season, because why not? It's math, and it's fun. Oh, and of course we're going to do Todd Hoffman's show. Can't be without that. But otherwise, that is it for me and Gold Rush. One last time, thanks so much for watching, everybody, and maybe I'll see you again next year.